Well, we know what that music means. It's time for the Watchdogs. Kirk Allen and John Kraft join me now to talk about all sorts of stuff. We've got a whole slew of interesting stories. John, let's start with you. You sent me this one, which quite frankly, I'm shocked. I just can't even believe it's true. Four police officers indicted with 70 felonies related to firearm sales in Kane County.
Yes, and they're all either former or current Campton Hills police officers.
Well, how does this happen? I mean, you guys wrote about what was happening down, I believe, in Edgar County and elsewhere. Perry County, it looks like, Coles County Sheriff sales. I mean, does nobody pay attention that you can't do this? And is there no other enforcement agency that is looking to tell, like, hey, we're going to have special training on the fact that you can't sell seized firearms? What's going on here?
I don't know. I know all the legislators know that this is going on, especially with the county sheriffs. They all know what's going on. They all know it violates state law, but they refuse to change the state law when it might have been Brad Halbrook sponsored a bill several years ago to make it legal for, police departments and sheriffs to sell the seized firearms instead of giving them to the state police. Because right now, that's all they could do. They could destroy them or give them to the state police, or they can use them, for department weapons.
Well, quite frankly, I'm shocked that the Democrats just don't want to pass a bill saying that they have to destroy them as much as they hate firearms. I mean, it's shocking.
Well, that's one of the options is destruction, and it's not happening. And we wrote about the first one was here in Edgar County. We wrote about the Perry County Sheriff, Coles County, Hancock County, Shelby County Sheriff. They think that they don't have to comply with court orders. It was Coles County. Which one was the court orders? I think it was Coles County. Yeah, the court ordered them to destroy the firearms, and the sheriff didn't do it. And what happened to him? Now he's the county board chairman.
So the Kane County State's attorney is a leftist. She's a Dem. She's a leftist. And so she goes after these police officers in Campton Hills. And, okay, they violated the law. Accordingly, technically, they violated the law. Why isn't she the one saying, let's change the law?
Good question. I don't know, but.
Well, how much trouble are these guys in? And how did this even happen? Why don't we start at the beginning here?
Well, they're all Class 3 and Class 4 felonies. Campton Hills appears to be a different scenario than the county sheriffs that we mentioned earlier. From reading the charges, it appears, and I haven't read the charge sheet, so I don't know. I just looked it up on the court records, because if you're charged with wire fraud, money laundering, forgery, official misconduct, theft, unauthorized control of funds, that would lead somebody to believe that these firearms are sold and the individuals that sold them profited monetarily, and the money did not go back to the police department.
Well, that's a problem.
Right. Why else would they charge you with wire fraud, forgery, and theft if that didn't happen? I don't know the exact background between these guys, but I know the former police chief, he got the most. He was charged with 41 counts, delivering firearms before a 72-hour wait, wire fraud, money laundering, 9 counts of forgery. That would probably be either signing the checks or signing the sales voucher. 22 counts of official misconduct, 3 counts of theft. These people, they do need to be held accountable. They do need to be prohibited from holding any other public office.
Okay, so 2012, Edgar County Sheriff seized firearms. No charges were ever brought. Perry County in 2012, selling forfeited firearms on an online sale. No charges brought. Coles County in 2015, sheriff sale. No charges brought. Hancock County Sheriff in 2020, selling firearms. He won a. What happened there? Doesn't say what happened.
Yeah, we had to sue them for the list of people that purchased.
But there doesn't say whatever anything happened to the sheriff, so probably no charges were brought.
No, nothing happened.
Okay, 2022, Shelby County Sheriff's illegal firearm sales. No charges were brought. So this is. And then, but then you go to Kane County, you have this Democrat woman, but that doesn't matter, sorry, Democrat state's attorney, and she's charging them. So,
well, the key thing with the Edgar County one, and this was over a decade ago, but that we wrote about it, the sheriff sold firearm to his deputy with the serial number filed off.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Anybody else would be going to jail for it.
Well, you're going to prison.
Yeah, but if you're a police officer, I guess it doesn't matter, except in Kane County now. Maybe she's setting an example. Maybe this is a good example being set that these people can't get by with continuing to do this type of thing.
Well, and that's all fine. That's all good and well. But, I mean, you would think that overarching all of these, you have multiple situations where forfeited firearms are being sold. And it looks like, I mean, you're right. According to these charges, it looks like these guys may have pocketed the money, which is even more egregious. It's awful. But you would think that this would get some attention in the legislature at this point.
Right. Now, personally, I believe, and I'm glad the Second Amendment is there, and I believe that these police departments and sheriffs should be permitted to sell these seized and forfeited firearms, recoup some of the money, and put it back into the general fund of the police department or the sheriff's department. It makes sense to me. Why do you just need to give them all over to the state police or destroy them? I mean, if they're functioning and they're not otherwise violating the law themselves, why not just sell them to a firearms dealer?
Yeah, absolutely.
The law doesn't permit that. So,
okay. I'm just we're going to take a break now and come back with Kirk's story. I really do want to get to the Dawson Township stuff. That's an ongoing issue, and I think I think it's something that we really need to focus in on. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the Edgar County Watchdogs. More to follow.
We now return to The Real Story. Here's your host, Jeanne Ives.
All right, welcome back. We got a final segment today. We've got Kirk Allen, Edgar County Watchdog, and John Kraft is also on as well. And Kirk, this Dawson Township issue. Again, this is a very, very small township. About 328 people live in this township, and essentially the supervisor and his wife, I think, who's the clerk, they basically stole $200,000. That's what it looks like, at least. And go ahead, recap the story really briefly, because we went in detail with this last Sunday, and I encourage people, you can go and find that on our podcast listing on AM 560 and elsewhere. But this is such an important story, and it's very distressing to me that this happened to these people and to these taxpayers. But go ahead with what the update is.
Yeah, thank you, Jeanne. Appreciate you having us on. Basically, the supervisor and his wife have written checks to themselves in what appears to be their farm account or farm business in excess of $200,000 in about a 6-week period. They were elected, they just took office, I believe, in May. They were seated. But between June and August, they pretty well wiped out the bank accounts. And that's just on the statements we have. I've been told tonight that it's higher than the number we've reported. So we're still waiting on the rest of the banking records to see how bad it really is. I've also been told that the clerk has now resigned. I think it was after that last article we published. So the supervisor resigned after the FOIA request. The clerk has resigned after the article.
But wait, the supervisor was one of the gentleman who stole the money. His wife was not the clerk, though, right?
His wife is the clerk.
Oh, his wife is the clerk. So the husband and wife are supervisor and clerk. They control all the funds. They usually it's those two folks that are on the bank account. In this case, they're related parties, and they wiped out the bank accounts.
Well, it's been alleged that they stole.
All right, allegedly.
The clerk has to attest all the checks by law. There's just 2 signatures. And I was told tonight the clerk has a long history of sticky fingers.
Oh, jeez.
We're going to do a deeper dive into that history, but I guess clear back to many, many, many years, and bets were placed that these accounts will be wiped out within months of her taking office. Now, it appears to be pretty accurate. But we'll see where it's going to go. We do understand that there's something going on with the state police and the state's attorney's office, which the state's attorney would have to make the charging decision. But apparently there's been some pretty outraged law enforcement folks demanding that somebody needs to go to jail over this. And if they don't, it's going to be the biggest black eye on a prosecutor you could ever imagine, because it's that cut and dry is what we're being told.
Well, heck, the Oakland Township guy didn't go to jail. He didn't get
That's right.
what, $34,000 he stole.
Tiffany Henyard hasn't even been indicted yet.
Cheapers.
You can't make this stuff up. Local government is basically moving along unchecked, and we have prosecutors that are so slow to do their job if they do it. And when they do, the judges don't ever put them in jail.
Well, and then the other thing about it is, and I mentioned this before because Governor Pritzker was, bitching and moaning on Brett Baer that, hey, why don't you bring in the FBI, the DEA? Well, hey, Governor Pritzker, the federal prosecutors are the only ones clean up any of your white collar crime at all.
Correct.
And you can't even take care of this type of corruption in the state of Illinois. That guy just drives me crazy.
Well, I'm going to shift gears on you just briefly on that since you brought it up. We've had an accident in Clark County where a county board member in Coles County and his wife were killed. Another couple in the back seat are currently in critical condition in the hospital. The word is, and I'm trying to get confirmation, so this isn't 100% right now, but the sources are indicating not only was the driver without a license, without insurance, but he was DUI, and he wasn't supposed to be in this country. That's here in Clark County. But Clark County Board has -1 board member now because this person had a DUI and killed him Saturday.
Yeah, you sent me that, and I did read it earlier in the program because it's just another example, Pritzker's record of harboring these illegals.
We're being told, and this is from a law enforcement, can't get the state police to validate it just yet, but we're working on it. But there is basically the word is the state police are not to disclose whether or not a person is or is not an illegal in any type of traffic violation. Well, that kind of would upset the apple cart if we really knew what was going on, because they're saying we don't have a problem here. And we do have a problem. We all know we have a problem.
Yes. I mean, there was that you and I were talking about it in this. I mean, we're going to go off topic here, but I think it's important. You also had that California accident with the illegal Sikh Indian driver who plowed into the back of 8 vehicles, killed 3 immediately. He was driving illegally. He didn't understand the traffic laws. And so you've got multiple truck drivers potentially out there driving illegally because the federal government requires that you understand English in order to get this. And Pritzker's made it much, much easier to do this. So first of all, you get a standard driver's license. Then as long as you have a work permit, you can get a CDL. That's all it takes. A standard driver's license, a work permit, and work permits are being handed out freely. And so then you get a CDL, then you get behind an 80,000-pound tractor trailer and you're driving down the road and you don't know what the hell you're doing. And that's why you get an accident like you saw in Florida, an accident like you just saw in California, and Illinois having the largest inland port in Will County and, miles and miles of road, the crossroads of America right here. We're very vulnerable to this. I mean, there should be a full investigation. We should know all the time in a traffic accident or incident who the hell's behind that wheel and if they're here illegally. And I know we didn't go there, but, there was a CDL issue not that long ago, and I think that was in Clinton County.
No, that was Kane County.
No, that was a different one. I'm talking about the one, maybe it was in the town of Clinton or nearby. And you know what? I know Kirk and I had this conversation about we suspect that possibly was somebody who was driving illegally and he got away with it. Who was here illegally.
Well, I want to know why we're not doing exactly what they did in Oklahoma.
Exactly.
We have numerous interstates here. Why aren't we checking these licenses when they go through these truck stops or the weigh scales? How come we're not doing a sting to clean this up? I do not understand the desire to defend these people that are not supposed to be here. I mean, Oklahoma took 140 drivers off the road that had CDL licenses illegally. Who's issuing them? Yeah. Where's the accountability?
90% of the people that they pulled over, 25% of the 25% of the people, something like 90% of the people were here illegally and they were driving. 90% of the people that were there that they pulled over that were illegal were driving a tractor trailer. That's scary. And it was about 130 people. And we should be doing the same thing. We should be pulling these people over and doing it right now. And they're not. They don't care. They don't care about safety in the state. The Democrats don't care because they can control everything. Governor Pritzker doesn't care. And now you have this illegal, killed somebody on the road again. But what if it's a 80,000-pound tractor trailer plowing through 294 on a busy day?
Or a box truck in Clark County on a little 2-lane road in rural America.
Yep.
Taking out, 2 people and putting 2 in the hospital.
It's all bad. It's all bad and it's all wrong. Yeah, I mean, this state, this is the state of the state, folks. And unless you vote these dumbass Democrats out, you're not going to get change. They have to go. They have to go. Pritzker has 100% control. He could do anything he wanted. He's got the big checkbook and he controls everything. And he doesn't care to do the right thing. Final word, Kirk.
Just keep the family in our prayers because I knew the board member, and it's just really sad to see a good guy that's taken out like that. It's just sad.
Awful. And also on that note, I my deepest condolences to the Bailey family. Got to go. All right, that's all I got time for. Bye-bye.